I'm Evaleen from Awesome Training and Confident Kids, and I've been getting lots of requests about my social skills books and how they help autistic children to navigate their social world. So I'm autistic myself. I found out 7 years ago, and I was a speech and drama teacher, so it just seemed really obvious for me to use my skills as a speech and drama teacher to design a course for kids, for autistic children, to make life less confusing, to understand all of these kind of messages, mixed messages that we're getting from people who communicate in a different way to us. So just to give you an example, this is from Konnect 2. So there's 3 books in the series so far. There's 1, 2, and 3, and they build on each other. So this is the second book, and I talk about mixed signals. So when an autistic person is listening to someone, we might do these things. We might look away from the person so we can concentrate on what they're saying. I'm really visual, so for me to actually listen and process what you're saying, I might often need to look away so I can visualize. I can't do that while I'm looking at somebody because there's too much information coming from their facial expressions and their eyes, and I can't do that as a human being, process all of that, plus really think about what they're saying. So that's why I look away. Some of us might stare. That means we're actually concentrating. It's a type of stim. Somebody else might stim with our hands. We might pace up and down, and there's lots of other examples of what autistic people do. These are just a few. So, did you know that an autistic person who is listening really hard, so concentrating really hard on what you're saying, actually looks like a non-autistic person who's not listening at all? And that can be really confusing. And really, this is what's happening a lot of the time, is that autistic children's body language is being misread. It's being misinterpreted because maybe the person is non-autistic and they're interpreting our body language as if it's non-autistic body language, but it's not. Our body language is autistic. And then we have, what does a person who's not autistic and they're listening, what things might they do? So, they do things like look at the person, they might make eye contact, they might nod and smile, they might give friendly comments and compliments, but they might sit still and not move about. So because we can look like we're not listening, it's important that other people understand autistic body language and that we listen best when we're moving. So this page of the book is about explaining not just to the child about their own way of communicating and how other people use body language, but also for the adult using the book that, this is how this child communicates, and I can learn more about the way they communicate through body language, because 80 to 95% of our communication is body language. And this is what is happening. And sometimes, and the reason I design these books in this way is so that, the adults can learn also, because unfortunately, autistic children's body language is being misread. If they're stimming and they're excited, it can be misread as they're trying to regulate themselves, or someone thinks they need to calm down, or, if they're, focusing on something and moving, someone presumes that they're not focusing. Now, another interesting thing about this is that, if, people say that, autistic people like to monopolize conversations, or, we don't know when to stop talking. But if you think about it, how do non-autistic people send those signals to each other, when they're bored or fed up or have had enough? Well, they send these subtle signals. They start maybe looking at their watch, they might start moving away, they might, their body language changes, and they're sending each other these, subtle signals that, it's I've heard enough of this, or I'm getting bored, or it's my turn to talk. If you're a non-autistic person and you're sending those subtle signals to me or us as autistic people, you're sending us messages in our language that mean, I'm listening. I'm really interested in what you're saying. And really, it's important that people understand the differences in our communication, because so much of what happens to autistic children growing up is based on other people misinterpreting us. And unfortunately, we're often misjudged. Sometimes people put motivations behind our behaviors or actions that aren't there. And it's just really simple, just really realizing that, yeah, we communicate a little bit differently. But also it can't be just up to autistic children and adults also to learn how other people communicate. Sure, it's going to be really helpful for us to understand those kind of mixed signals and mixed messages that other people send. But also what's more helpful is if other people understand what we're doing with our bodies. So that's just a little bit about our Konnect series, and you can find out more on awesometraining.com or on confidentkids.ie. Thanks for listening.